see twice as they enter the party, and ESPN and FS1. So, you know, having the different platforms that are getting behind us is something that's really exciting. This year we'll have the AVCA Showcase, the first serve in Louisville, and the leadership of Jamie Gordon to make that happen. We're excited about being a part of that. And then a few days later, we're playing in Fiserv Arena against Texas and Stanford. And so playing in big arenas and playing in front of big crowds on great networks is something that so many people have worked hard to make that happen, including the NCAA committee that in all their work to continue to grow the sport. And so we're excited about what is in front of us. We've got two great athletes in Sarah and Devyn, who are two of our three captains this year, along with Yulia Orzel. And we're happy to be representing our program and university in our state to be here.
Just a reminder, affiliation and name. Thanks.
Aaron Ferguson, Wisconsin State Journal. Sarah, how are you feeling? How's your ankle? What's the recovery process like, and what's your timeline? Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling good, ready to go for season, and we kind of get to play it by ear, see when I'll be back, but shouldn't be too long, too crazy.
Riley Yauk, ESPN Wisconsin. Question for Sarah and Kelly. Devyn, Anna, and Yulia are some of the last elder stateswomen of that 2021 national championship team. What does their leadership on this team mean to you guys?
I think that their leadership is very valued, and they know what it's like. They've been in both points of it, winning and losing, and to lean on them and to be able to kind of know what it's like on both sides of it, I think is going to be really good. And, you know, getting into the latter half of things, they know what it takes to get to that point. So I'm really excited to see that and how it grows throughout the season.
You know, we finished the last 5 years ranked in the top 5 in the country. There's not another volleyball team that has done that. There's not a football team that has done that. There's not a men's or women's basketball team that has done that. So there's been a lot of success there, you know, but you know, we were 1 point at Nebraska. I think we had match point to win a match, which would have tied us for our 5th Big Ten title in a row. So this group has accomplished a lot. With that said, there's also been a lot of disappointing finishes, you know, where we haven't played our best volleyball at the end of the season when our best volleyball is required. And so we have a lot of players that are driven to rewrite the script, I guess, if you will, or change it a little bit going into this year. And the leadership is going to be one of our strengths. Our experience is going to be one of our strengths, and we're going to need that. We're going to need players like you mentioned, Devyn and Yulia and Anna, people like Sarah and some of the other people that weren't on the 21 team, but they're very, very talented. We're going to need them to show the same type of leadership and drive and consistency that some of the players before them took. You know, there's a difference between being really, really good and being really close and being the last one standing, and it's really, really hard to do. There's only been 12 programs in our sport that have ever been able to do it, and so we're excited about this challenge. As much heartbreak as there's been in their last final match the last 2 years, I'm excited to take this group for one more chance.
Brent from the Lincoln Journal-Star. Kelly, you said this summer on a radio interview this might be your most talented team. You know, you've had championship teams, you got Olympians. I guess can you go through some of your players on the lineup and explain why you think this might be your most talented team?
There's a lot of experience, a lot of firepower. I mean, we've got more arms than probably. We've turned most of our arms from last year. They're just a year experience, so hopefully that helps us. We're physical. I think we've got some really good talented setters. You know, if we can stay healthy, if we can everybody singing the same song, and then we're going to have ourselves a chance. But this is as talented as what we've been able to do. It doesn't guarantee anything. We've got, when the rough waters come, how are you? Are you staying together? And that 21 team was able to stay together when it got to be really, really tough. And we saw that out of Texas last year when they were in the Sweet 16. And I think they had match point against them. And they were able to stick together and find a way and not panic. And sometimes those are easier things said than done.
Andrew Banstra, News 3 Now. For Sarah and Devyn, kind of going off of what Kelly was talking about a minute ago, with all the success you've had, kind of how much drive have you had this summer coming back to try to get all the way to that mountaintop?
I feel like there's just such a sense of urgency and that there's no room for hesitation. If we're going to go for something, we have to go all the way in. And I feel like all of us have that mentality that we need to be the best versions of ourselves if we want to get the goals that we're setting for ourselves.
Yeah, I think putting aside kind of everything that gets crazy. Life happens, like things happen, and I think leading into this season, no one's worried about that aspect of things. Everyone is worried about this team, what we can do together, and how far we can go. So I think it's really exciting to know that everyone is on the same page there and that we're not letting anything get in our way this year.
Pete Ferry, Big Ten Plus. You have two players in the Olympics right now, in Dana and Carlini. What's been the thought of watching them? Do you watch them together as a team and say, that's me one day? Do you sit with the freshmen or the young recruits and say, being part of this program can get us to that point? And when you watch it together, are you taking notes? Are you comparing and contrasting with each other with your former teammates?
I think a lot of the games have been at, various times, so it's hard to get everyone together to do that. But we love having dialogue about this kind of stuff. We'll watch it and be able to just talk about, what things worked well for them, what things didn't work well, and to be able to see people who have been in our jersey up there, it makes it very realistic for a lot of us just to be able to look towards that once we, finish our college careers.
Yeah, seeing Dana in the Olympic jersey is really inspiring to me because I've looked up to her ever since before I even committed to Wisconsin. She's a big reason why I came here, and to see her living out her dreams is just adding fuel to my fire to feel like I played with her. I know what she did to get to the spot that she's at, and I can do those things too.
Aaron from the State Journal. For Sarah and Devyn, obviously there's a lot of experience up front and some youth at setter in the back row, and Sage is returning as well. Just how do you kind of blend the inexperience with the experience?
I think it's about keeping everyone on the same page. I think we do a really good job about having the new people coming in, understanding that they aren't new, they aren't young, they are here to bring what we recruited them for. And there's a lot of value in that. There's a lot of value in having fresh minds, someone who maybe doesn't see or know all of our details to start, because we can learn from that too. It's great to have all those new perspectives. So I think having a little bit of both of, bringing them under our wing and getting them into our Wisconsin culture, but also learning kind of what they bring to the table outside of that.
It's instilling confidence in our younger players because I know coming into an elite gym like ours is kind of intimidating, and just letting them know, like, we're all on the same team, like, we're all family, we're all sisters, and we've got each other's back, and I know you're here for a reason, and just instilling that confidence in them.
Lincoln O'Neill, Huskers Illustrated. Sarah, you got some rings on. What are you wearing there?
Just a couple. We have 3 rings. We have the national semifinal from last year, 2022 Big Ten Championship, and then the AVCA First Team All-American ring. And then Deb has...
Yes, I have 2022 Big Ten Championship, 21 National Championship, 2020 Big Ten, and National Championship again, but with the Big Ten on the side, and our Final Four ring.
Yeah. Sarah talks with her hands more. Sorry, I didn't see yours, Deb.
Oh, no, I just had to make sure you saw them, so I held them up.
To kind of build off that last question, have you had a chance to work with Charlie? What are your impressions of her and what she can bring to the team?
I'm really impressed with what I've seen with her this summer, getting in the gym and just working on our connection. She's just really talented, and I'm really excited to see how with Kelly's coaching and just being around other Badgers like myself and Sarah, like how she'll blossom into the player that I know she's capable of being.
Yeah, I think it's just fun to watch her. She has such a calming demeanor when she's on the court, and she knows what she's doing, she knows what her goals are, and she does a really good job at executing that. So it's a lot of fun to watch, and I'm excited to continue getting on the court with her.
Kelly, if you have a talented roster, what do you think will be some of the big factors that determine how successful the team is this year?
I mean, health is always a factor, right? And that was one of the things that Nebraska was able to do is one of their starting outside hitters went down for the season, and they were able to handle that adversity and continue to go and finish 19-1 in the league. And so adversity is going to hit. It always hits. And how are you when it does? And are you able to stay together? It's we mentioned earlier, I think one of our strengths will be our diversity in a lot of different ways. Very diverse team, probably as diverse as I've ever had, and we want to celebrate that. But we talked about it. It's every player kind of brings their own talent, their own musical instrument, I guess if you will, to the party. But you've got to be playing the same song, even though everybody has a different instrument. And we've not always been playing the same song. And when the margins are so thin, like they are in an elite conference like this, and it's about ready to get gnarlier with these 4 West Coast teams coming in, you better handle adversity, and you better be singing the same song.
Corey Sparks from ESPN Wisconsin here. For all 3 of you, a lot of teams can manage to put together a good season here and there, and maybe twice in 4 and 5 years. This program's going on a decade plus of remarkable volleyball, especially the last 5 years. From each of your perspectives in this program, what's the key to sustained excellence?
I feel like just strong leadership over the years and upkeeping our culture and just letting people who come into the program know what's what and understanding the foundation that's been set and upkeeping that. I feel like Sarah, Eula, and I are doing a good job of letting their freshmen know like what the standard is, what our culture is like, and I don't know, just having such a great and vibrant culture at Wisconsin has been a big key of part of this.
Yeah, the culture carrying through that long period of time is a testament also to all the recruiting that is being done, because when you're getting recruited here, everything is laid out on the table. This is how we operate. This is how we do things. If you don't like it, maybe it's not for you, but this is how we do things. So when you come here, you know you're going to have to work your butt off. You know you're going to have to fit into the culture. You know you're going to have to grow your character, your skills, all of these different things. You know you're going to have to push yourself to do that. And guess what? It's not going to be easy. And that's the people that love this sport, and that's the people that love to do that here. And so I love that we have so many people that have done that year in and year out.
Word.
Andrew Banster with News 3 Now. Kelly, you mentioned the addition of the 4 teams and the expansion of the conference. What challenges and maybe advantages even does that bring for you guys?
Well, I mean, they've won championships, right? And you look out at the history of those teams and the Hall of Fame coaches that they've had in the past, and the fan base, I'm sure for each of them, have high expectations. And you want to be a part of something where it matters. It matters to everybody. It matters, and I know right now it can get lost that football and maybe basketball is the only sport that matters right now. Certainly, when you're opening up about any article, it certainly is more that than it's ever been. But we have choices right now of which way we're going to go in different sports at each of these schools, and it certainly seems like volleyball is being leaned into as much, if not more, from so many administrators and fan bases, and where the allocation of resources are, and which is going to be important. And I'm excited. I've never played at UCLA. I'm excited about that. There's not too many places in my career I've not competed at. That's one of them. I'm excited to go back to those other 3 programs because they're awfully talented with some really good young coaches leading the way.
Alana Goldman, 5 wins. Devyn and Sarah, you've both been to this event before. I wanted to hear about how this event has grown in your eyes in the last couple years and what it means to be on the forefront of growing women's college volleyball.
Yeah, I think I was a part of the first Big Ten 2 years ago, and I think seeing how much more is being poured into this from the aspect of media, from the aspect of where we stay, from the aspect of how much everyone can do for this sport, I think has been really exciting. And to see it now, I'm like, wow, they've definitely stepped up their game. And it's exciting just to see people are paying attention to this now. People are able to watch this when they want. And I just think it's really cool and exciting to be a part of something like this because I've loved volleyball since I was 12 years old. And to be a part of something that's growing so much and to be able to share that with so many people, I think is just, it's really an honor.
Yeah, I was here last year, but I was working it with the mini mic, and now that they have junior reporters, I think, and I think that is so cool to get young kids in here getting involved in volleyball. Because now I've sat and I talked with them for a little bit. They're a little shy, obviously, but getting to talk to them and having them be like, oh, am I going to see you later? Like now they have someone to look up to and a reason to watch volleyball and to tell their friends, and that's just a good thing for them to get involved in early, and I'm really excited for that.
Which side of the mic did you like better?
I like talking into it, but I didn't mind holding the mini mic. It was cute.
Kelly, how was your trip to the Olympics? What were some of the top moments of that trip?
First time I've ever been to the Olympics. First time I've ever had an Olympian. We've got 2 there, so it was cool. It was emotional. It was awesome. There were so many of their former teammates that also made the trip over. So it was it was incredible. We saw 4 indoor games, 2 on the women's, 2 on the men's. 3 of those 4 win 5 sets. We saw USA Beach under the Eiffel Tower at night when the sunset was going and the glistening of the Eiffel Tower. And we saw a day of gymnastics where there wasn't a single American there, and it didn't really matter. It's the pride of and the joy that is just around for everybody. I mean, it was such a great vibe. I'm fired up for it to get to Los Angeles in 4 years. Hopefully we'll have some players, but if not, I can guarantee me and my family will be there.
One final question.
Ethan Casellas, Dignity Volleyball. Sarah, you and Carter won silver with USA Volleyball in the Dominican Republic. What was that experience like? And also, since I cover Penn State, what impressed you about Jess Merzik's performance?
Yeah, I think going to USA and being able to play with a whole bunch of other college athletes who are just as driven, just as high level, who want the same thing, I think is really an awesome experience. And also to put a face and a personality behind the name that you play against every single time, I think was just a really, really cool way to just get to play some more volleyball and get to play some more sixes, because that's always an awesome experience. I think Jess was great when we were out there and, getting to learn from other outsides as well as Eva Hudson. I think getting to learn, how they do things differently than maybe you do, because every position is going to do things a little differently because different people have different skills. I think it was just really cool to, get to talk with them about how we operate versus how they operate and how they kind of go into games and how they see things, because I see games as something that's, very high level. I'm a high motor, and, maybe Jess and Eva see it a little differently. So I thought it was really cool to just get those different perspectives as well as just represent USA. Like that is always, I'm just so honored to do that every time.
Kelly, Sarah, Devyn, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Good luck in the
Thank you.
season.
Thank you.